Okay, let's look at the section 8.2. This section talks about properties of relations on A, right? And relations on A simply means that a relation from A to A, right? So there are three properties, and the first one is reflexive. So we say a relation R is reflexive if for all elements X in A, X is always related to itself by this relation R. Then we say it's reflexive, right? Symmetric is whenever you have, say, X is related to Y by this relation R, then this has to imply that Y is related back to X, right? Then we say it's symmetric. Transitive means that if X is related to Y and also Y is related to Z by this relation R, then you will have X is related to Z, right? If this is true, then the relation is called transitive. All right, so let's look at this following example. Right, so the relation is defined on Z, right? So if integer is related to another integer if the absolute difference is less than or equal to 1, right? Let's see if it's reflexive, right? You can see that for all X in Z, so we take any integer X, absolute difference with itself is always equal to 0. X minus X is 0, which is certainly less than or equal to 1, right? So which means that X is related to X itself by this relation, right? Which means that this is reflexive. Right? How about symmetry? Right? If you know that say X and Y is in this relation, which means that the absolute difference between X and Y has to be less than 1 or equal to 1, which means that we can flip X and Y. Y minus X is of course less than or equal to 1, which means that Y is related back to X by this relation, right? Which means that it's symmetric. Right? But transitive, this is not going to be transitive. For example, we know that one, say 1 is related to 2, right? Because the difference between these two is 1, so it's definitely related to each other. And also 2 is related to 3 by this relation. However, X 1 and 3, the difference, absolute difference is actually 2, which is not less than or equal to 1, which means that 1 comma 3 is not in this relation R. So therefore, this guy is not transitive. right? That's it. I hope that this was clear.